You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a group in Carthage is pushing back an amendment that will provide health care without interference from the government.
Also, area residents are experiencing a rise in theft and vandalism of campaign signs. Our very own Samantha Walker will have those details.
And it's pretty darn cold out there this morning, and it will be warmer today than we were yesterday in a fun twist of the forecast. We'll have a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. now on this Wednesday morning. It is October the 2nd. And boy, it feels more like October 22nd outside this morning. It is a little bit on the cold side. And I just, folks, you live here, you know what we deal with. It is 20 degrees colder now than we were yesterday, but we're going to be about 10 degrees warmer later today than where we were yesterday.
Do I bring a jacket? Do I not bring a jacket?
You don't know how to dress. Like, you need to dress warm, but then keep shorts on underneath your pants for later today. So we'll have a look at that forecast for you in just a moment, but we got some news to get to this morning.
Absolutely. Well, a woman who is a member of a movement called Don't Mess With Our Kids wants Missourians to vote against Amendment 3, saying it would indoctrinate children. Now, Amendment 3 would provide for the right to reproductive health care without governmental interference.
A local Democratic committee member and former teacher says the claims by opponents are false. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has the story.
Concerned that the children in our nation are being sexualized right now. We're concerned that in the schools and in the libraries they're being indoctrinated right now. We're concerned that there are a lot of things that are harming our children.
Tammy Brown is the ambassador for the movement Don't Mess With Our Kids. The movement believes schools are allowing sexual impurities towards children. She says it's only going to get worse with Missouri's Amendment 3.
It would allow transgender surgeries on minors. It would also allow minors to have abortions without parental consent and even without parental knowledge.
Susan Wagner, the chair of Jasper County Democratic Central Committee, says these claims are false.
Missouri, permission is required for general medical treatments, and there are already statutory provisions that are exceptions to that.
Wagner is a former teacher. She disagrees with the claims that schools are pushing certain lifestyles.
I'm in 100% disagreement that is happening in our schools, that children are being indoctrinated. Some of their social and emotional needs have to be done with counseling department, but the indoctrination piece is totally false.
One thing they both can agree on, it's a matter of faith.
Pray for different things. I don't really pray to exclude.
Reporting in Carthage, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Well, Don't Mess With Our Kids movement is going to Washington, D.C. next week to pray and fast at the Capitol.
Amendment 3 is on the ballot in Missouri for the November 5th election. A lot of issues coming up on the November 5th election, and so you can find great resources on our website, komnewsnow.com/vote. You know what else you can find on our website? Pictures of us, pictures of pets, and news, and what I'm about to tell you. The forecast. Let's start with a look outside from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. We've got the sun right there. There's a big flock of birds. Alfred Hitchcock must be nearby. Well, we've got the sun rising out there, looking pretty good, but it is cold this morning. Same from our camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin, a bit on the side. That's the sound I make when I go outside and it's cold. Okay, I don't make that exact noise, but you get the idea. You know, you walk outside, you're warm in the house, and you walk outside, and you're like, oh my goodness, it's like getting hit with a brick if it was a brick of ice. All right, MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin, looking back to the south, also looking good. Traffic is flowing, and we'd rather it be flowing than not. What kind of morning has it been? What was that? Do we even know? Do we want to know? Oh, okay. Yeah, there's only about 500,000 cords in this studio. I don't know where they all came from, but they are here. KDOT camera, looking good as well. Future track into the afternoon. Not a lot to show out there. We're looking at sunny skies. We're going to be warmer, not as windy today. We'll have that southeast breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Quick check of temperatures. Look at this, 48 in Joplin, 41 in Pittsburgh right now. And around the region, we should be in the low 50s this time of year. Neosho's the closest right now at 50. Everybody else very cold in the 40s. And I say very cold for this part of October. Later on, it'd be about normal. But for now, it's chilly. Not chilly today, though. Sunny skies, upper 70s, low 80s for our highs. Winds pick up tomorrow. Temperatures increase tomorrow as well. Latest on that in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Authorities identify skeletal remains found in Wilson County, Kansas, and arrest a Neodesha man for murder in the case. Authorities arrested Joseph Ferraro on a warrant for first-degree murder. The arrest came yesterday afternoon in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Now, last Tuesday morning, Neodesha police found skeletal remains in a pasture on Ottawa Road in Wilson County. They called in the sheriff's office and KBI to help investigate. Also Tuesday, the KBI is identifying the victim as Levi Ellis, also of Neodesha. The cause of death was not released, and Ferraro is currently in the Tulsa County Jail awaiting extradition. Well, campaign signs are a common part of election season, found in yards and roadsides. Now, we told you earlier this week there have been reports of these signs being vandalized or even stolen in southwest Missouri. And as KOAM's Samantha Walker shows us, it's a problem in southeast Kansas as well.
Every election I've ever paid attention to, there have always been thefts of signs or vandalizing of signs or different, destruction one way or another. And it's something that we never want to see, and it's certainly not the right way to get your opinion across.
Campaign signs from all parties are now being targeted. Behind me is just one example. It's a Harris wall sign that was slashed down the middle and has now been taped back up. Many local Democratic parties are now using the slogan, "You can take our signs, but not our votes," as a response to the vandalism and thefts.
I don't know if they think they're silencing something. We have plenty of signs. We've been replacing all of them that have been taken down. So they're not stopping the conversation.
Signs have been targeted all across the 4 states. The Crawford County Democratic Party says they know of roughly 30 signs that have been stolen, and their large campaign signs have been targets of vandalism multiple times. Those with the Crawford County Republican Party say they've stopped keeping track because the thefts and vandalisms are so common during election season. According to the Pittsburgh Police Department, targeted attacks on campaign signs is not usually a legal expression of speech.
Depending on the dollar amount of the item that's damaged or stolen, it could potentially be like a lower level misdemeanor, or it could be a very high misdemeanor depending on what's going on, or a felony. But in cases of signs, they're typically low dollar items, but it's still a Class A misdemeanor in Kansas to steal something that doesn't belong to you, and it's a Class B misdemeanor to damage something that doesn't belong to you.
Political groups say they believe there are more constructive ways to support your candidate or express your discontent with others.
I mean, there are candidate forums, people can get involved, but stealing signs doesn't really accomplish much.
The right way to do that is to make contact with your political party and help them out. We want to do things like voter registration drives and phone drives and even prepping envelopes for mailers. Any number of things, but the last thing that's going to be productive is to vandalize somebody's sign or steal it. That's literally not going to accomplish anything except make you look bad.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Political organizations and the Pittsburgh Police Department recommend keeping campaign signs in view of security or doorbell cameras if possible. This will make it easier to see and identify people vandalizing and stealing signs. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Humboldt Bible Esta is all set for this weekend's celebration. We'll hear from a few of the organizers on what's in store for this year. And later in Iowa, a woman shows us the importance of representation in local government. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Old Yale Farms in Frontenac, Kansas. Welcome back. Humboldt's Bible Esta is set and ready to go for this weekend. Now, Jerry Neely is with us this morning, inviting you to take part in this year's celebration. Welcome to you. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning.
Happy to have you here. So talk to me a little bit, for those who might not know, what Bible Esta is and kind of just how it got started.
about 66 years ago, a member in our community thought it would be great to have a Bible-based parade, and got it started. And it's been going ever since. It's been growing, and they've had bands from the schools come out, and free bean feed, a night display. So a lot
fantastic. 66 years is really incredible. And you kind of talked about how it's grown and evolved. What's in store for this year?
This year we've got several bands coming up. We've got Voice of Truth Quartet. We've got Homesick Prodigals going on. We've got the National Anthem that'll start the parade, and then the Legion Riders are coming out to lead off as well, and then the parade floats that are Bible-based will be on display, and the judges' booth will have narratives about them, and a bean feed going on afterwards. And in the evening we have a program that's pretty much set up for the young adults and the college age, but it's for anyone. Gary Larson will come down from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes to lead that, and bring his band down for special music. So lot of events.
Lots in store. Now this is going to be Saturday, October 5th. So this weekend, when do the festivities begin, and where can people, turn out to come see all the fun?
At 10 o'clock we'll begin at the town square, and we've got a booth set up. We have cups from last year to kind of display the 65th year. But this is the 65th, and we've got T-shirts that I thought I'd show one today.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Just enjoy the music that's going to be on the town square. We've got a live stage set up, a great big one, and a lot of music and a lot of events. We've got some events for the kids.
Oh, fantastic!
We've got bounce houses. We've got petting zoo and train ride, and the mini train ride for the kids, and just
lots to look forward to, lots of fun there. And if people want to find more information about this upcoming event, where can they do so?
We're on Facebook, and they can find out more there. Also got food vendors set up around the square all day long, and so until they run out. It's been a big event. Thousands of people show up.
Thousands of people. It's such great for such a small town like Humboldt to welcome in so many different people to celebrate. So absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We'll of course have more information on our website later on this morning, KOAMnewsnow.com. Stick around. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:17 now on this Wednesday morning. We're going to start with the future track, and there's not a lot on it over the next several days, honestly, but we're just going to cover the today, tomorrow, and Friday. Today, even though we are pretty chilly this morning, we will ultimately be warmer today than where we were yesterday, and we're going to start to creep back above normal across the region, and of course that will keep us above normal overnight tonight and into our Thursday. Now, overnight, winds will shift out of the south, and by tomorrow, they'll be out of the southwest, and it's going to be a bit on the breezy side, but those southwest winds are also bringing in even warmer temperatures. So we're talking 10-15 degrees above normal on our Thursday, and as you can see, still no clouds in the sky, no rainfall in the forecast. It's going to be dry, it's going to be hot, and it's going to be sunny. It is not going to feel like October at all. Another mild night Friday. Then by Friday afternoon, we have a boundary coming through. Doesn't do much for us on Friday. Temperature still 10-15 degrees above normal, but as we head into the weekend, we'll start to see a few minor changes out there. Winds today, southeast 5 to 10. Nothing too crazy to worry about, but as we head into Thursday, as early as 2-3 o'clock in the morning, when the winds are still out of the south, they're going to start gusting upwards of 30, maybe 35 miles an hour in some cases, and that will continue through the day as they shift out of the southwest, so do keep that in mind. The winds will be shifting through the day, and like yesterday, it'll be a little later in the afternoon, early evening before the winds do begin to calm down for us. Got a great shot of that sunrise from 7th and Range Line in Joplin. It is cold though, 48 in the city. Calm winds right now, and around the region we should again be in the low 50s. We are not. The closest to that so far is Neosho at 50, but still below normal. And take a look, some of us 10-12 degrees below average as we're falling back low, mid, and upper 40s to get the day started. Now with the winds coming up out of the south, it's going to warm up. I'm talking about that in just a second. Quick reminder though, look at this. We're upwards of 20 to almost 25 degrees colder now than we were at this time 24 hours ago. 25 24 hours from now, though, these will have pluses in front of them because we'll be about 20 degrees warmer than where we are right now. All right, chilly start, mid-40s by 8, but with the sunshine and those southerly winds, we warm up quickly, upper 60s by late morning, ahead of highs again above normal, upper 70s and low 80s out there with sunny skies. Clear skies continue through the evening and into the overnight hours, and another above normal night. Going to be into the upper 50s and low 60s. We head down the road. Again, breezy tomorrow and hot. Upper 80s, low 90s. Similar trend Friday into Saturday. And then we start to cool back. Now, this is the interesting part here. Our overnight lows starting this weekend into next week look to be at or even below normal. But our daytime highs as we head through the next several days are going to be just a bit above normal into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. So a little chilly at night and warm by day, and unfortunately, no rain on the horizon at this point either. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Well, this morning we take you to Marshalltown, Iowa, where one local business leader is making a difference.
Kayla James shows us how Melissa Fonseca is showing the importance of representation in many ways that matter.
With confident steps and a strong sense of purpose, Melissa Fonseca feels confident in saying,
"This year, 2024, has been a really good year."
And why wouldn't it be?
I got my broker's license, and then, I was thinking it would be good to start my own business.
And she did. This sign outside her shared office being proof enough. But instead of stopping there,
the opportunity to run for council popped up, and I did that as well, and I won the election,
making Fonseca Marshalltown's 4th Ward City Council member. And she says there's a twist.
I think the one that I can own is Latina, which is the first female Latina, like Latinx person, female Latinx person elected.
Fonseca says 33% of the Marshalltown community is Latinx. Much like with her day job, she is passionate about helping the people in her city.
If there's a certain representation and inclusivity from the get-go, and it's shown up there for once, that hopefully it helps the community know that they are being represented.
Represented, Fonseca says, in all ways that matter: age, gender, and ethnicity.
We're 27,500 individuals here in Marshalltown, community members, and we all care about Marshalltown in our own way. That's what I think when I'm voting and reading the agenda and learning about what all the information is for me to make an educated vote.
Born and raised in Marshalltown, Fonseca loves her community.
I trust this community, and I know that there are aspects of it that may need some improvement. That's fine, but there is something here that is nowhere else, and that's what makes Marshalltown super special.
The people, all people in Marshalltown, who Fonseca is proud to serve. As for her being the first female Latinx person elected, something she does feel honored about.
I hope that one day, when it doesn't become a big thing of being the first Latina, that it's just maybe one day it will just be a normal thing. And I think that it definitely starts from here on out.
Certainly an impressive run for her, and a great starting her business and getting on the council to help represent.
Absolutely. Quite the impressive lady there. Well, coming up, one Joplin organization is asking for your input regarding the city's transportation services.
And it is a bit chilly outside this morning, but it will be warmer later. We'll go over those details with you when the KOAM Morning News returns.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Noe. The Joplin Area Transportation Study Organization wants to hear the community's thoughts on transportation in the city. From now until October 30th, the JATSO online survey is open for comments from residents and stakeholders to share their thoughts and experiences regarding transportation safety. Survey questions will focus on safety perceptions, specific problem areas, and suggestions for improvement. Now, if you're interested, you can just head over to KOAMnewsnow.com, where we've provided a convenient link to take the survey. Well, the Peoria tribe in Miami, Oklahoma held a groundbreaking for their new 35,000 square foot greenhouse. The facility has been a work in progress for a long time. It'll be a step towards food sovereignty for the Peoria tribe. Now, the greenhouse will provide produce such as tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and more. And the organization's plan is to provide healthy food options for child care facilities and elder care programs. They hope this new greenhouse will help tackle the issue of food insecurity.
Whether it's, a daycare system, an elder care program, or, a single mom or a family, we want to make sure as many people as possible, and an elderly person that's home alone, we want to make sure that they have access to good, healthy food.
Now, they hope the new greenhouse will also provide job opportunities for the Peoria tribe. October is Fire Prevention Safety Month, and yesterday afternoon, kids in McCune, Kansas got a lesson on what to do in emergency situations. The Battalion Chief Mike Shoemaker talked about what to do when you're sleeping and your fire alarm goes off, and even showed the kids how to crawl through smoke.
The biggest problem we have is, smoke detectors, making sure that they're in every home. A lot of them think that they'll smell the smoke if they're sleeping and be able to get out that way, but it's not the truth.
Now, Shoemaker says it's important for families to have a meetup spot and a plan if there is ever a fire in your home. Each child also received a fire safety book. Well, October has arrived, and that means it's time for all things spooky. Now, from pumpkin patches to thrilling spook houses, the season is always packed with fun in the 4 states. We put together a list of these, as well as dozens of trunk or treat events perfect for your little monsters. To explore all the details, just scan the QR code on your screen or visit KOAMnewsnow.com/events and get ready for a month full of autumn adventures. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Chilly start to the day out there, starting with our camera downtown Pittsburgh, looking at that sunrise out there. Skies are clear. Temperatures are cold, though, for this time of year, more like late October out there. Our camera 7th and range line in Joplin also showing that beautiful sunrise out there. Heading down south to the MoDOT camera, 20th and range line. All these folks probably have the heat on because it's a little bit on the cool side this morning. However, you will not need it when you head home. You want to make sure you remember to turn the temperature down this afternoon. KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue also looking good as well. Future track for today, we've got clear skies. We will not be as windy as yesterday, but we will be warmer than yesterday across the region. We'll have a southeast breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Temperatures, though, as I mentioned this morning, cold. 48 Joplin, 41 in Pittsburgh. Some of us 10, 12 degrees below normal out there. Take a look at this. Like I said, it's more like late October. We've got low, mid, and upper 40s to start the day. Should be in the low 50s to start the day. All right, sunny skies again into the afternoon. Southeast breeze 5 to 10. Temperatures above normal, upper 70s and low 80s out there. It's going to get even hotter tomorrow and windier tomorrow as well. We'll take a look at that forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, for the first and likely last time, the vice presidential candidates went head-to-head in a roughly 90-minute debate hosted by CBS News last night. GOP Ohio Senator J.D. Vance and Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz took on a number of big campaign issues with election day now just 34 days away. Jared Hill has more on some of the night's biggest moments and new reaction from New York.
A handshake set the tone for a mostly civil debate. Vice presidential candidates J.D. Vance and Tim Walz, in their first meeting, sparred over top issues like Iran.
Iran is closer to a nuclear weapon than they were before because of Donald Trump's fickle leadership.
When was the last time that an American president didn't have a major conflict break out? The only answer is during the 4 years that Donald Trump was president.
The economy.
Teachers nurses, truck drivers, whatever. How is it fair that you're paying your taxes every year and Donald Trump hasn't paid any federal tax in the last 15 years?
Donald Trump delivered for the American people. Rising wages, rising take-home pay, an economy that worked for normal Americans.
And gun violence.
We unfortunately have a mental health crisis in this country.
Sometimes it just is the guns. It's just the guns.
At times, the discussion more tense, like this exchange over the 2020 election.
Did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future. Did Kamala Harris censor Americans from speaking their mind in the wake of the 2020 COVID situation?
That is a damning non-answer.
While talking immigration, Walz challenged Vance over his past comments about Haitian migrants living in Ohio.
That vilified a large number of people who were here legally.
The people that I'm most worried about in Springfield, Ohio, are the American citizens who have had their lives destroyed by Kamala Harris's open border.
In a new CBS News poll, debate watchers said the tone was generally positive. 42% thought that Vance won, while 41% thought Walz won. The rest said it was a tie. Though more said they think Walz is more prepared to be president. Walz also ranked higher on abortion and health care, while Vance got the edge on the economy and immigration.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A father didn't let a hurricane stop him from walking his daughter down the aisle on her wedding day. We'll hear how he made the incredible 30-mile journey. I'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Old Yale Farms in Frontenac, Kansas. In Consumer Watch this morning, the dock worker strike is causing some businesses to develop potential workarounds. Now, FedEx says it's launching a contingency plan to provide support to those affected by the strike. The company says customers should contact a sales representative for any questions about shipments or its air freight service. Now, the announcement follows the beginning of dock workers along the East Coast go on strike yesterday as workers call for better wages and a ban on automation. Well, warming up your home may cost extra this winter. The National Energy Assistance Directors Association reports home heating expenses may rise an average of 10.5% compared to last year. Now, the association says those who use electricity for heat are expected to pay an average of more than $1,200 this year, up to 13.6% from the previous year. An health organization warns of a spike of breast cancer cases in younger women. Now, a report from the American Cancer Society shows breast cancer cases went up 1.4% every year since 2021 among women under 50 years old. The report does show good news as death rates from breast cancer in the U.S. have dropped 44% since 1989. Well, around half of U.S. ocean shipping operations have halted. Port workers are demanding increased wages as importers warn the dispute will increase prices for consumers. Now, Fox Business correspondent Grady Trimble reports from the Port of Baltimore on where the negotiations stand.
From Texas to Maryland and New Jersey to Maine, a massive and potentially costly strike is on, as 45,000 workers at 3 dozen East and Gulf Coast ports walk off the job. The International Longshoremen's Association is demanding higher pay and less reliance on automated machinery. The union's fiery president fully aware of the havoc the walkout is causing.
People never gave a about us until now. Cars won't come in, food won't come in, clothing won't come in. You know how many people depend on our jobs? Half the world.
Elon Musk and other critics are pointing out Daggett's union salary is more than $700,000 a year, according to a Department of Labor filing from 2023. The two sides don't appear to be at the bargaining table today. Industry groups for retailers, manufacturers, and wholesalers are calling on the Biden-Harris administration to reverse course and invoke the Taft-Hartley Act, forcing workers back to their jobs while negotiations take place.
As we're getting this close to the election, it sounds like they don't want to make their friends in big labor unhappy. But in the meantime, the rest of America is going to be unhappy.
Former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, a Republican who has the local union's endorsement in his Senate race, standing with picketing workers Tuesday, refusing to criticize the administration.
I don't think it should be a Republican-Democrat thing. I think we should all be just trying to see if we can't get these things resolved, because it's going to be important to the economy.
Should they invoke the Taft-Hartley Act?
I'm not sure at this point if that's necessary or not.
By some estimates, there's up to $5 billion at stake for the U.S. economy each day this strike lasts. In the meantime, businesses are scrambling to find other ways to move their products into and out of the United States. At the Port of Baltimore, Grady Trimble, Fox Business.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:44 now on this Wednesday morning, and we are starting with the future track. There's not much to show out there other than it's going to get a little windy tomorrow, and it's going to be well above normal across the region. As for today, though, we're looking pretty good. We'll have clear skies. Temperatures are going to begin to warm a little above average. Should be about the mid-70s. We're going to go about 5 to 8 degrees above that, but of course that means it'll be above normal tonight. So even though it's pretty chilly this morning, it will not be by this time tomorrow morning. Thursday, the winds are going to pick up out there, and that also will allow our temperatures to pick up as well. Some of us 10 to 15 degrees above normal for this time of year, and that'll continue into our Friday as well. But we have that boundary, it pushes through, doesn't really do much for us. No clouds, no rain. Nothing that we need, and not even cooler temperatures initially. But as we head into the weekend, we will start to see a few changes taking place. Winds today, generally out of the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Nothing too crazy expected, but as early as 2, 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, winds will shift out of the south overnight tonight. So initially, the winds will be gusting out of the south upwards of 30, maybe even 35 miles an hour for some. And then the winds will shift out of the southwest by about mid-morning, and it will stay gusty, similar to yesterday, until we get in the late afternoon, early evening hours, and then those winds will begin to calm down a bit for us. Temperatures, we got clear skies in Joplin. 48 is where we're at right now, and the winds are calm. And around the region, all of us below normal, should be in the low 50s. We are not, and some of us, like, look at this now, Fort Scott at 39 degrees. So we're talking 10, 12 degrees below normal for some folks out there. All of us, though, aside from Fort Scott, hanging out into the 40s. And we are upwards of 20, almost 25 degrees colder now than we were 24 hours ago. And then 24 hours from now, we're going to be 20 degrees warmer than where we are right now. Yeah, big temperature swings out there for us over the next few hours, actually, just next 24 hours. All right, starting our day again, chilly, mid-40s, sunny skies out there. Southeast winds will warm us up, upper 60s by 11 o'clock this morning. Heading into the afternoon, clear skies, upper 70s, low 80s for our highs. And as we head into the evening, skies will remain clear, and we will be a little mild this evening. We'll be above normal, but upper 50s, low 60s. Tomorrow, though, upper 80s, low 90s. That trend continues into Friday and Saturday out there. Then by Sunday, look, we cool back down overnight. And as we head into the second half of the weekend and the next work week, our temperatures, they're still a bit above normal, because again, we should be about the mid-70s, but our overnight lows will fall a little below normal next week. And unfortunately, as you can see, over the next 10 days, no chances of rain out there, and we badly need some. And right now, just not seeing anything on the horizon. That's a check of your forecast. We've got a little more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities have identified skeletal remains found in Wilson County, Kansas, and have arrested a Neodesha man for the murder in the case. Authorities arrested Joseph Ferraro on a warrant for first-degree murder. The KBI is identifying the victim as Levi Ellis, also of Neodesha. Now, the cause of death was not released, and Ferraro is currently in the Tulsa County Jail awaiting extradition. The Joplin Area Transportation Study Organization wants to hear the community's thoughts on transportation in the city. The survey is open now till October 30th. The survey questions will focus on safety perception, specific problem areas, and suggestions for improvement. A link to the survey can be found on our website at KOAMNewsNow.com. And October has arrived, and that means it's time for all things spooky. We put together a list of autumn activities as well as dozens of trunk or treat events perfect for your little monsters. Now, to explore all the details, just scan the QR code on your screen or visit KOAMNewsNow.com/events.
And we've got ourselves a warm day. Even though it's cold this morning, it'll be warmer than normal later. Upper 70s, low 80s, sunny skies, southeast breeze 5 to 10. Clear skies through the evening and overnight, upper 50s, low 60s. Winds shift out of the south, and about 3 a.m. or so, they're going to start gusting upwards of 30, 35. They'll be out of the southwest by mid-morning Thursday, even hotter, upper 80s, low 90s. That continues through Saturday. We cool down a bit. Our afternoon highs next week still above normal by a few degrees, but our overnight lows may fall just a couple of degrees below normal. Unfortunately, though, as mentioned, no rain on the horizon at this point.
Alrighty. Well, actor Damian Lewis drives a flock of sheep through one of the world's major cities. The annual charity event in London honors a medieval rite dating back to the 12th century.
Famous for his roles in Homeland and Band of Brothers, Lewis has been made a freeman of the City of London, and so has the right to drive sheep across Southwark Bridge without paying a toll. The event is organized by the Worshipful Company of Woolmen, a medieval guild that can trace its roots back to the 12th century. You know, I think maybe we should try and drive some sheep through town somewhere.
Toll can't be that bad.
Can't be, but still looks like a lot of fun. And great to see these traditions hundreds of years later still going on.
Pretty cool.
Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.